Hello everyone, welcome to the month of May 2020. My name is Eve and my channel is Eve 44.4. So for this reading, what I wanted to do is focus on the messages of the divine goddesses. And here we just started May Day yesterday, which is Beltane, a very ancient Celtic and Gaelic custom that is still celebrated throughout Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. And it's a time to celebrate cattle and livestock, to bring out the May flowers. Beltane is considered the between spring and summer. It's the midway point where we're beginning to welcome in all the spring flowers and the summer energy. It's a great time of dancing and celebrating. And in parts of Ireland and Wales and Scotland, what they do around Beltane is they light fires. The fires are considered a form of protection of all of the earth and the growth and the cultivation. So all of their cattle and their livestock and all of the seeds that they have planted, the fire is a form of protecting their hearth that they're going to then be harvesting when we get into the end of summer and beginning of fall. So Beltane is the opposite time of the year to the fall harvest. So welcome to May. It's a month of flowers, it's a month of blossoming, and a lot of flourishing and activity where colors are very vivid out there in the world. And I wanted to then use the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck to pick some messages from the goddesses for us, since we are in the Taurus season, and Taurus is very much governed by planet Earth, the Earth Mother, and the energy of the goddesses, the divine feminine. So two goddesses are going to be working with us throughout the month of May. And the first one is Una, an ancient Celtic goddess. There is no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. Easy does it. There's a lot of messages that this beautiful Celtic goddess has for us. One, it's about easing into things, gently as she goes. It is, however, a card of movement, but it's more this slow moving into it without rushing, recognizing that whatever you're truly meant to do, whatever relationship is awaiting you, financial well-being, it's yours, it belongs to you, it's part of your mission, and nobody else is going to get bids on that. Okay, so in other words, there's no competition here for whatever it is that you are meant to move into or further grow and blossom in your life at this time. And what I love about this card is there's a lot of golden energy, and we see the dove of peace here. And within it, you can pretty much see the crescent moon. So we can look at that as a new moon and also a full moon. So the moon is waxing or building in light as we're headed into the full moon. And so this is her guidance here, and the full moon is occurring here on May 7th, 2020. Her guidance is to ease into it, to embody the energy of the dove, which is peace and love. And of course, behind this, we have the goddess Irene, which is the Greek goddess of peace. So let me read you a little something here from the book. I listen to the passionate stirrings of my heart. I reach out and I take action to let my loved ones know that I deeply care about them. I take action to spur on my pet causes. Never mind what other people think. You will benefit by carrying through with your priorities. But these are the priorities that come from the heart space, not the ones that someone else tells you is a priority. It's listening to that deep inner heart beating as your guide here. And Una is also one of the keepers of Mother Earth. And one of the beautiful things about Beltane or May Day is it's a celebration of prosperity and all of the beautiful bounty that the earth gives us. We are meant to work with the earth alongside her, but to also protect her. And the goddess Una is telling us it's time to have a greater earth consciousness and green consciousness here. Nurturing a cause or relationship is a long-term commitment and one that cannot be rushed. This level of devotion comes from a place of deep loving and concern. So therefore, whatever you're giving your time and your energy from, it's because you have a deep caring and devotion for that. But take it one step at a time is her counsel, and take the time to rest and pause in between. There's no need to worry, hurry, or feel that you have to force things to happen. That is a beautiful message. And then the goddess Irene is a Greek goddess, and she's one of 3 Greek goddesses. She represents the goddess Pax, P-A-X, which represents peace in Latin. And the other 2 sister goddesses are the goddesses of justice, is it justice? And lawfulness. I'm going to look that up. I think it's justice, but I know the other one is lawfulness. And I often get with this goddess an energy of Libra here. Yes, lawfulness and justice. Irene brings peacefulness to all who call upon her. She helps us replace worry with faith, and she also reminds us to retain our childlike awe and enthusiasm for life. Both of these goddesses have a spring in their step. Una very much embodies all the colors of the rainbow, which is that vibrancy that spring brings in. And then Irene has that feel of late spring going into summer. So there's an enjoyment here of more sunlight and the warmth that is coming in from this. The message from Irene is that even though appearances may seem chaotic at times, she's assuring you that a higher plan is in action. This all-loving power is caring and supporting you completely. Put your focus into enjoying and appreciating each blessing in your life. It's the attitude of gratitude when we focus away from what's not working to what is working. We then open up the energy to allow more of what is working to come in. And that is the ultimate message of Irene. There's no need to worry, as everything is going to work out beautifully here. So these are the messages from the goddesses. And for those of you that want to continue listening, I'm going to dive into the numerology in the tarot for this month of May. Let's start with the numerology alongside the tarot here. The month of May is a 5-month, which corresponds with the Hierophant. In this deck, which is the Sirian Starseed Tarot deck, the message is guidance. So the Hierophant is an invitation to further our spiritual awakening and our pathway of ascension, a deeper recognition of who we are and what deep divine gifts we carry, and how to access it through prayer, through meditation, through play, through childlike things, because being with our inner child is the doorway that opens up the potentiality of the universe. Because within our child self, when it's a healthy child, there's a sense of deep awe that stretches out through the cosmos, and we tap into our natural creativity and our natural gifts, and that's how these come in, as well as answers to perhaps things that are going on in our life. So we have to tap in to that inner guidance here. I love that message, and that's the ultimate guidance or overlay for the month of May. And then when we add it together with the universal year of 4, which is 2020, we get the Emperor. We also get the Judgment card. I did not pull that one out here for us today, but we have both of them at work or at play here. The 4 is about accessing our reasoning or our logical higher mind. But the Emperor in this deck is really thinking deeply about things. Again, a beautiful blending here of reason and guidance, bringing us to a place where we can make very informed decisions in our life, which then brings me to judgment. True judgment is not a judging of a situation, but it's a greater understanding and discerning of something so that we can make the right decisions for us. The true higher form of the Judgment card is not about judging circumstances or people or situations. It's about reaching a place of deeper understanding where we do have 2020 behind us from our prior experiences to pull on, and we can then access our higher reasoning capabilities and our inner guidance. And then the last message here helping us is reflection, or the Hermit. So all of these energies, reason, guidance, and reflection, bring us to judgment. These are the tools that are guiding us through the month of May, along with the beautiful, more playful and active energies of the goddesses Una and Irene. So when I add 4 with the number 5, I get reflection, or the Hermit. And it's kind of interesting, I notice in this Sirian Starseed Tarot that in both of these cards, the Emperor and reflection is Merlin, the great magician or magi from the ancient Gaelic, Druidic, Celtic times. And he was a great magician. He had access to the multidimensional realities. And so you are pulling here on a greater part of your beingness here. You are the Buddha, you are the great Sphinx. You have led so many lifetimes on earth. It is time to access that ancient wisdom. What you are accessing here through all of these cards, including judgment, is wisdom that you've brought with you through the journey of your soul. So tap in to that deeper guidance through meditation, through prayer, through whatever deep spiritual tools that you use and practices that you do every day and every week. And it's telling you also it's a time of reflection, which goes along with the goddess Una. It's like you don't have to rush into this. Take one step, then do some more pausing or self-reflection to make sure you know what your next step is going to be. I love the Hermit energy because when we're able to go so deeply within, we are accessing caverns within our being, hidden compartments where wisdom and understanding lie. But within those deeper compartments, within the compartments of reflection, we can also access forgiveness. We can access whatever guilt or shame or disappointment we need to also let go of, because these are all emotions that are teaching us. Joy is an emotion that teaches us, but so does disappointment. They are equal teachers here, and reflecting upon all of our greatest teachers, the Hierophant are our greatest teachers through the lifetimes and the journey of our soul. The Hierophant card, or the guidance, is showing us all the many masters that we perhaps have been in other lifetimes or soul journeys, and the many masters that are in our lives right now and around us that we have access to, whether they're invisible guidance like angels and goddesses and gods and ascended masters or cosmic beings, or they're literally human angelics around us. That guidance is all around us and within us. And lastly here, we start off with the month of May with the Great Wheel of Fortune. number 10, because the first day of May is a 1. So when I add a 1 to the 9, the Hermit, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is 10. The great wheel is spinning. And this card is one of my favorite representations of the Wheel of Fortune, because within it, it's like we see all time, all the atoms, the protons, electrons, neutrons, all particles of life here in the great cosmos. The great wheel of life is what this symbolizes. So there are wheels turning here within the great wheel of fortune, things that we cannot see going on behind the scenes, which the goddess Irene let us know in the beginning that is happening. There's wheel upon wheel turning here. The other message with it is, just as the wheel goes up, the wheel can quickly go in the opposite direction. So it's a reminder that if you have been on the downside of that wheel, feeling like nothing has really been working for you lately, guess what? Your wheel is about to turn. Your luck is about to change. This is a card of change and embodying that. So if you've been going, and been overwhelmed, now's maybe a time in this month of May where you're going to get a time of rest or reprieve. And those that have been in deep reprieve and rest, you're going to be moving to the other side of the wheel where there's great activity coming in. That's the message I'm getting from this. Now, the number 1 or 10 and the 11 is a very strong number throughout the month of May here. And I wanted to bring in the days for you to be aware of this. We had 3 days in a row here, April 30th, May 1st, and May 2nd, where we ended April on an 11-day, started May on a 1-day or 10-day, and the second day of May is an 11. So we had all these 1 energies with a 0 embodied there, all bang, 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 3 days in a row. There was a amazing magic in the idea of 3 days in a row. You know how good things come in threes? That was the message I was getting here. So let's look at other days within the month of May where we have this Wheel of Fortune energy and the 11 manifestation energy happening. So we had it here May 1st and 2nd. We are having it again May 10th and 11th, May 19th and 20th, and May 28th and 29th. So we have 4 different windows throughout May where this 1 and 111 energy is very, very strong. And it's an energy of change, new beginnings, and manifestation. And now as I'm going into the numerology with it, the number 5 is the number of change and great new beginnings coming in. So 5 and 1, those are the numbers in numerology of great change and new beginnings happening. Very powerful energy here within the month of May. And we are completing the month of May. On May 30th is a 13. And in this deck, I really like it. It's about transition. So while we go through May, we're going to be going through a lot of transitions. Again, we're back to change, the vibration of number 5 in numerology. And I'm being shown with this card, which is one of the reasons why I did choose this deck, that a lot of these changes, we are going through them while we're sleeping and meditating, when we're in a place of inner and outer restfulness. So I invite you to really carve out time in your daily schedule for downtime, for rest, whether it's outside in the garden, gardening, sunbathing, taking a gentle walk, doing active meditations, napping, or literally meditating. And then also with this card, you're doing a lot of transitioning and moving gently through the changes that you're bringing in while you're sleeping. So for many of you, you're going to be having a very, very active meditation time and a very active dream time. But no matter what, transition is telling you here, along with the great wheel, that a lot of movement is happening in the month of May, and your tools guiding you through this are your reasoning capability, accessing all of your spiritual tools and your guidance and your team of guides, asking for help from your team of guides, whether earthbound or angelic and cosmic, and then also reflecting. So you have to not only be the doer here, you have to be the beer. You have to have this hermit time in order to balance everything out here. Now, in order to complete this reading for May, I wanted to pull some cards here for two very powerful astrological events. Right now, we are going into the first of three, Venus square Neptune. We're going to have three. Venus is in the pre-shadow right now, in the sign of Gemini. She will be retrograding there from the very early hours of the morning on May 13th through June 25th. She's in the pre-shadow, getting us all prepared. And during this time on my Instagram, I am going to be regularly throughout the weeks here pulling guidance tools for us with working with Venus. So do check out my Instagram. I might decide to do some of it through YouTube as well. I haven't quite made that decision yet. But do check out my Instagram so you don't miss any of those messages. Now, the goddess Venus is making her first square to Neptune on May 3rd. Her second one, which she will be doing while she's retrograding, will be on May 20th, and that's an 11-day, very strong day. And the last one, while Venus is completing her cycle, will be on July 27th. So that's a very long 3-month window here where we're getting very profound guidance, reflection, instructions, movement, and transitions through our relationships here. And this is all happening for each of you on a very individual level here. So take whatever guidance resonates for you. And then here also on May 4th, we are having the Sun-Mercury conjunction, which is called the Superior New Mercury in the sign of Taurus, which is also another message of working with the divine feminine, the sacred mother, our inner world, our intuitional body, everything that speaks feminine, which is creativity, love, peace, growth, because Taurus energy is all about growth and blossoming. And where are you in your life right now where you want to further blossom or now begin to grow something new? Because throughout the month of May, there are new beginnings here with the Great Wheel, and there are also transitions. Remember, we have that number 10 and 1 energy very strong, as well as 9 numerologically. And 9 is about completions and endings, transitionings out into new beginnings here. So let's get the messages. I wanted some extra guidance from the romance angels for what are our tools to go through this first Venus-Neptune square, which is where we're really wanting to access, because Venus is about love and abundance and creativity, and Neptune is wanting our dreams. So how is Venus here going to access our soul memory in Neptune so that we can make our dreams come true? How can we bring and pull our dreams through the Neptunian energy, which Neptune really is the clouds, exists in the higher realms. So how are we going to pull those dreams forth and make them real in the physical world here? And the romance angels are showing us that it's through play. And we got that message through Irene, didn't we? It's about recapturing romance through our inner youthful spirit. Remember I said about bringing out our inner child, the aspects of joy and awe and laughter. Because in this card, that both of them are laughing. There's a smile on that beautiful child's face. But it's about really being with our inner child and our inner play. But it's also about going out and being a part of the world again, not just being inward. There's going to be moments where we want to go in and reflect here. And we want to go inward into our cave, but then we also have to balance that out and go outward into the world and seek play with others here. And this is a beautiful romantic card. It's also saying, take it slow. This is a time of being playful. It's not a time of jumping or rushing in. Take it one playful step at a time. And the last cards from the Psychic Tarot of the Heart are reach out. That's the Three of Pentacles, which is perfect for Taurus. Reach out to those you care about. Okay, that was part of the Una message here. Don't isolate yourself too much. You know, I do have a tendency to be the hermit a lot. I mean, I feel very natural in that place. I love being alone. I love my me time. And I have to remind myself sometimes that it's time to get out in the world again. So that's a good reminder just for me. But for those of you that are like me, it's time to get out. And this is another asking for help. You're not meant to be in this time alone. So it's asking for your divine helpers. It's also asking for your friends. And it may be asking for healing here or counseling. Or if you want extra messages, you know, I jump on YouTube every day to the people that I like to listen to. But seek information. 3 is always about communication and wanting to be out and about with other people. So it really goes along beautifully with the play card there. And then the last message here is balance, which is the Temperance card in the Major Arcana. 14, which is my number. I see that every single day, twice a day. Balance. In this deck, he is showing us or asking us, is there a part of your life that you really need to balance right now? Where in your life can you bring that balance? Are you more in your masculine side or are you more in your feminine? Seek to bring the two into a greater union. This is the card of alchemy, and May is the month of that alchemization. And I love it because I see the Lover's card or the twins, the twin flame and the twin soul element within this specific card here too. And of course that's telling us that the month of May is bringing a lot of romance and love into our lives here. So to finish this video up, I want to read the last little messages here from the Psychic Tarot of the Heart by John Holland. I love this book. Compromise is required in order for relationships to be harmonious. Be willing to give and receive in equal measures. It's about finding that middle ground or looking at your life in terms of your relationships in particular and noticing where you could be maybe giving more all the time and you want that relationship to maybe give back. But not all of our relationships are equal. We'll have certain people in our lives where we're more the giver and they're more the receiver. And we'll have other people where it's pretty much equal. And then other groups of friends where we're more the receiver and they're more the giver. That's just how friendships and relationships work. But in this case, this is speaking more really to your intimate partnerships, I feel. So compromise also includes accepting that people are individuals with different personalities and ways of looking at the world. Embrace your differences. Rejoice in your similarities. So it's about recognizing that it's what we share in common, but also the variety that we bring to the table that makes life so interesting. And it always brings growth. If we were all the same or similar, nothing would actually be growing here. It would be a garden that would ultimately end up becoming sterile. And if you do find yourself at odds, Be willing to work through the issues honestly and with love, confident that your differences can be resolved. This is an excellent time to help heal discordant relationships by bringing them into better balance. And for those of you that are seeking a romantic relationship at this time, balancing aspects of your own life will open the way to this new love. And also making sure that your relationships with family and friends are in balance will set the tone so that you can bring this new romance that is on its way to you now. I love that message. And I want to leave you with the affirmation here. I embrace our differences and I bring balance and healing to all of my relationships, including my relationship with myself. I send you all my greatest love and greatest blessings. Namaste.